Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Complimentary Mania podcast. I'm Trevor, and I'm here with...
Who's complimenting who?
Me? You?
What?
Who are you?
I'm Tommy.
Oh, this is Tommy, the other host on this wonderful show. Okay, so we're here to discuss first why we're starting this podcast.
Mission statement, if you will. Goes in episode 1, right?
Yeah. We kind of have to explain why we're doing this. There'd be no reason.
Yeah. So why are we starting this podcast, Trev?
Well, this has been quite an on-the-moment thing, and really the only thing that's keeping me calm is the underpants that are draped over the monitor right now.
I mean, I'm going to be real with you. Seeing your underpants on the monitor, it's not calming me down, but the excitement is acting as fuel.
See, even though there's no crowd here to listen to us right now, the fact that there's a monitor, blaring its blue light down upon me, it intimidates me a bit. But with the underpants over, like they always say, just imagine the viewer in their underpants. And well, right now that's the computer. So... See, it's adorned in my beautiful Hanes gray trousers.
We know no one will ever actually hear this, so the monitor's the only thing that's judging us, right? And right now, the underwear is a shield to that judgmental glare. I mean, I guess as a mission statement, we should probably just say this is sort of a spur-of-the-moment thing we're doing to have fun.
Yeah, spur of the moment. We love to talk, we get into quite the engagements. And we thought, hey, it'd be fun to, share our thoughts on the web. Okay. So moving on to our first topic, Tommy, this is one that you wanted to bring up.
Oh, yeah. So Trev, how long is too long to live?
That's a really hard question to answer from person to person, because not everyone's going to have the same answer for that.
Here, let me walk it to the way I came to this, okay? I was eating lunch at work. Something we've all done once, at least. Eating lunch at work, right? It's like, I'm on my 4th Hot Pocket right now.
Jesus Christ. We were talking about this earlier.
This tastes way worse than the first Hot Pocket. I wonder if I was immortal, if all food would be like that. Because, when you were a kid, flavors were so much more intense. And like old people, their taste buds are dead.
Yes. Everything tastes like gray moosh to them.
Except butterscotch candies.
That's some sweet-ass candy. Even old people can't resist that.
It's so good. Anyway, so if you lived for an eternity, you would probably just stop being able to taste things.
Well...
And also, you'd develop a tolerance to all kinds of other things, too. Like, dopamine, there's a tolerance to the happiness chemical in your brain. At a certain point, it's just not enjoyable to live anymore. If you could just age for eternity, there is a cutoff point where you're like, please kill me. I need to go.
You're describing that one show called Dementor.
Dementor?
It's the one where all those characters are in hell, but hell is made to basically...
Oh, The Good Place!
Yeah, The Good Place, yeah. They get bored to death. They're like, fuck, man. They start out in heaven, and... they just get bored of it, and eventually, at the end, spoilers, they get a choice to kind of just end their existence in heaven and decide, hey, I'm done. Because if you live forever and you get to experience everything, you'll get bored of everything. That's just how the human psyche works. You experience something, it's not going to hit the same way the next time or the next time. If you play the same game over 1,000 times... it's not going to be as fun the 1,000th time, as much as some people would say.
Except for chess.
Except for... maybe.
I mean, chess, though. There's probably a bunch of other examples, but chess is one of our longer-standing games. That lasts multiple lifetimes. And you wouldn't want to live as long as chess.
No. But you have to think, if you're living longer than chess, you would get tired even of chess. You would get tired of your favorite things. I don't want to live that way.
My favorite things. Whiskers on kittens.
No.
So back to the point at hand. How long do you think you could live before it would just suck to be alive? Let's say you age at the same rate.
If I age at the same rate, so, like, I will still become decrepit by the age of, like, 80.
Yeah.
Well, if I start losing my ability to interact with the world as I do now, it would be suffering. I wouldn't want to lose my ability to interact with the world, to feel, to taste, to, do all that. If I can't walk and, say go to the gym, or go and eat my favorite meal on my own without any assistance...
The fourth Hot Pocket.
Tommy, if you're eating your fourth Hot Pocket, you've already passed the point of no return. Like, you already have to have an amount of will to go and get the first Hot Pocket. Like, Hot Pockets are like, I don't know, fucking zombie apocalypse rations. Like, you pull one out of the freezer, like, you be looking like a ghoul from Fallout 4, and you're holding that thing like, it's something. It is what it is.
It's one step above zombie flesh from Minecraft.
Zombie flesh makes you more hungry. What does the Hot Pocket do?
It makes food taste worse. As we found...
So it's saturation, but bad.
Sure.
It's saturation, but the gold hearts are green instead.
You were coming to a point, man. Come on, stay focused.
Oh, I know. So yeah, I wouldn't want to live past, say... There's not, like, a definitive age that I would want to stop. It's whenever my legs give out, it's whenever my eyes give out, my ears, etc. When you stop having the... like, functions of your body to interact with the world, you stop being able to experience reality,
I think you and me, and probably most people agree with that to some extent, but it's like a very morbid thought for most people,
Yeah.
Most people don't want to think about, hey, at some point, I'm going to die. What point would be the best point to die? Is, I guess, a good, way to reverse that question, though.
A good point to die.
Yeah, like, what's the best stage in life to die? Most people want to die, like, at the age of 80 with, some sexual favors being performed on them. Is that, about where you're at?
I wouldn't want the sexual favors, necessarily. I feel like if you're wanting to die, you should already have everything in your life satisfied. You should have it in your mind that, well, I've done everything I wanted to. If I went, that's okay.
Right.
You don't necessarily need to go out on, like, a pleasure bang or whatever. You, like...
Skydive without the parachute?
Skydive without the parachute. Base jumping with a rock tied to your back.
Swimming with sharks, but the sharks are toasters.
We're talking about exotic sports, but you could really just recreate that at home.
You could. Don't. Suicide is bad.
Thank you. This is our PSA about suicide.
I guess it's kind of hard to talk about this topic without suicide. Like, let's say you have dementia, both of your legs don't work, and you can no longer see. Like...
Chase. Sorry, Chase.
Sorry, Chase. We have a wonderful friend named Chase. He buys us protein shakes sometimes.
He's also blind and can't move his legs because he skips leg day.
But most importantly, he has dementia.
He does have dementia. He forgot how his legs work, and that's why they don't work.
Imagine if that's how that worked. I could just, like, not breathe.
See, our bodies restrict us from doing that. There is no physical way to like, stop yourself from breathing.
You can hold your breath.
You can hold your breath, but eventually, when your ability to control your own body shuts down, your body's going to naturally be like, give me oxygen. Slurp that shit down like Chug Jug, you know?
I want all the viewers at home to know that I just cringed out of my body. I've transcended.
Some of that slurp juice?
My soul has left the building.
Fortnite, guy.
This is us. Oh, please stop. We're in the first 10 minutes of episode 1, and we've diverted to Fortnite.
My phone's about to die.
Your phone's about to die.
It's probably because of me.
I'm about to die because of you.
Fortnite too much, and I drained it. We got from Demeter to Fortnite. So what if we go back?
What if we go back? Back to the past?
Back to the past.
Samurai Jack.
See, we're trying to get back on track.
Choo-choo.
That's a Jomri Dash level.
Yeah, that's an amazing way to capture an audience. If we just throw out just a bunch of topics, people will listen to this podcast.
Absolutely.
We need a loyal fan base that'll sit here and put this on
and
loop.
Listen to our asses talk, ramble on
Actually,
for like an hour.
I want to point out that is not a skill I possess. He said asses plural, but I'm talking with my mouth. Trev here is bent over.
I always talk straight out of my ass, bro.
It is quite the sight. If you're wondering why there's no visuals, that would be why. I mean, most people don't have a tongue in their anus.
I'm the one in a million.
Hey, when you shit, do you taste it?
So, Tommy, do you feel like we have satisfied the question, how long is too long to live?
You know what, Trevor? I feel like we might have. The answer? When you stop being able to enjoy life. So, somewhere between the fourth Hot Pocket and the age of 90.
So you can get... We're just gonna go past... I kind of don't want to. Do you have to be 91 to like eat the fourth Hot Pocket?
I hope not.
Is it like taking the third strike?
No, it's in between the two. Okay, so like when you eat the fourth Hot Pocket, the aging process begins, and the age of 90, at like 90 years into the aging process, is like about when. So somewhere in between when you turn 90 and when you've eaten your fourth Hot Pocket.
Does it matter what flavor the Hot Pocket is? I feel like that's crucial.
No, but if the Hot Pocket is expired, the time frame goes between the fourth Hot Pocket and 80.
Like, you have to eat 2 Hot Pockets to suffice starting the ritual. Okay. So, we'll move on to our next topic. We're going to talk about, considering how deep that last question was, and how deep we definitely got into it.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny how deep I am with Trevor's talking anus right now.
We can get as deep as you want to. Let's talk about, quote-unquote, shower thoughts. And our first phrase, because CAPTCHA is used for AI training, the AI will eventually out-train CAPTCHA.
That is kind of neat. There'll be just robots that can prove they're not robots.
Do you think that's going to be a problem for, like, say, banking applications? You know, just anything online that has to do with finance?
You know, if I have to just completely shut down this shower thought, I'm gonna throw it out there. The second AI is better than CAPTCHA. We just make CAPTCHA 2.
What if the AI makes a new CAPTCHA that's against humans?
Prove you're not a human.
How would that go? Actually, that's a great thought. How would the advanced AI of 2022... That's definitely one of the numbers ever. In a year, 200 years from now, how will the advanced AI that has overtaken the planet prove that the other AI that is using online systems is indeed not human?
It's got to be reaction time. An AI can input really fast, so if it's like, hey, identify all of these images, and it throws like 100 of them up really quick.
No, I got it. They'll have a different AI play a 1v1 CSGO match against you. Whoever wins is not the AI. Or whoever wins is the AI.
Whoever wins is the AI.
Yeah, you were condemned to death if you lose. You die in the game, you die in real life.
That is amazing. How do they know to kill you, though? Like, do they, like, track your location? If they could do that, why don't they just check? I mean, it's AI. You're basically omnipotent. Just, like, look, homie.
Yeah, they literally could get your IP address. No.
As funny as reaction time or CSGO matches is, probably if AI needed to detect the difference between other AI and human, it would be the input system, right? Because AI interact with computers via raw code. They don't, like, click on things like we do.
Yeah. So, considering AI can process things like extremely complex math infinitely faster than we can, they could just simply communicate through something like that.
Yeah.
You know, if it doesn't come up to a certain speed, it'll seem suspicious. You know, kind of like how at work, if someone's a bit slow, someone's going to notice it eventually. Someone will come check on them.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am really slow, and no one
We're
bothers
talking
me
about
at
at
work.
work.
No one bothers me at work. I'm really slow. We'll just
Who's
be
to say-
sitting there like, is water wet? For 2 hours.
Bro, you don't think about water being wet for 2 hours. We already know the answer.
Water's wet.
Water is wet. Or is it?
Stop!
Or is it?
Hey, speaking of is water wet or not, what do we use waters for? Showers. What's the topic? Shower thoughts. Don't you have another handy dandy shower thought we could talk about?
That would be so great. Thank you for reminding me. Number 2. The concept of happy hour existing for fast food and other companies implies the existence of certain unhappy hours outside of those happy hours.
Like work.
Is the work happy? Like, is it happy work?
So
when you're
happy
working
hour,
during
happy hour is usually when the least amount of people are working.
Mm-hmm.
So that implies that the working hours of the day are unhappy, is I think what the original shower thought was about. Which is a neat concept, I gotta say. Like, whoever came up with that, definitely not considering the wetness of water for 2 hours.
No. They're too busy serving the people during happy hour. So bad.
I don't know, there are probably just hours of the day that are on average less happy for more people.
There's probably like neutral hours, and then there's an unhappy hour. But where would the unhappy hour lie?
What's the unhappiest hour of the day?
That's hard to say.
I'm gonna say 9 a.m.
Why would you say that? Is it because it's just the general start of the day?
Well, so if you work first shift, you're up and you've been at work for a few hours, and life is sad. If you work second shift, your first alarm is going off telling you need to wake up or everything is going to be closed before you can do things before work. And you're sad. If you work an office job, you're rolling into work, and you're also sad. If you work in the service industry, it's breakfast rush, and you're also sad. And if you're too young to work, you're at school, and you're sad.
It's first period, too. Like, I feel bad for all the kids that get, like, math for first period. You wake up, and you gotta sit in front of that shit. Maybe that's just personal preference. I know there's a lot of people out there that probably like math.
Please don't appeal to the math audience. This is episode 1. We're trying to build like a solid foundation
Fair.
of hardcore fans.
Yeah,
fuck them math people.
Let's cull the math.
If you're good at math, just like build the computers and the cars.
Bro, I literally
and the
have
houses.
like I could count up to 23 with just my appendages. Like, shut up.
With just my appendix, I can count up to 2.
If it's sticking out for the day, it comes out when it feels like it. Usually it's on Tuesdays, so math people, get fucked.
I just had this thought. An interesting marketing strategy. Back to the topic at hand. What if bars started serving unhappy hour? Like,
So-
this is the worst hour of the day, so we're going to give you booze so it's less bad. And we just mathematically proved it was 9 a.m. Bars should start encouraging day drinking. It would be good for business.
It's not the worst idea. I feel like they would just raise the prices. Like,
Yeah.
think about it. It has to be the opposite of happy hour, because it's unhappy. So raise the prices,
Oh, fuck you.
have more staff in,
Okay.
and it also has to be at the busiest hour of the day, since happy hour is at at the time with the least amount of people in there.
Okay.
So unhappy hour would have the most. That would just describe lunch.
We have
described lunch.
Congratulations, everybody. We invented lunch. Anyone out there having lunch, you can thank us personally.
If you're eating lunch right now, let us know how sad you are.
And also tell us what the saddest hour of the day is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, mathematically speaking, it's 9 a.m.
It could also be lunch.
It's gotta be 9 a.m.
Honestly, I would say it's lunch.
No.
After you eat. Because you're full, and you're sitting there, and you're thinking, man, what if I just slept right now? Because you're full. Your body's processing the nutrients you just took in to your body. The last thing you want to do is get back up and go to work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the worst part of every workday is when your break is ending. It probably depends on work, too. Some people really love their fucking jobs.
Yeah.
Those people are like math people, though. Fuck them.
Math people out there, we don't hate you, but if you are out there...
His ass is not speaking for both of us. I hate you.
My ass will speak for myself. Please tell us why you like math. What's so attractive about numbers? Like 7, 8, 9, that's just scary, bro.
Wait, are math people into vore? Because 7, 8, 9?
You know what? We're gonna leave this as a whole comment thread. Guys, tell us if you're into vore.
You know what? Math people, you can stay. People into vore, get the fuck out.
The math people are into vore. Wait, if they're into math and they're into vore, what do we do with them? We
put them to work at 9 a.m.
They go to work at 9 a.m. They get to work during unhappy hours. Get fucked. Sorry, math people. But not sorry. Moving on to our last shower thought.
The last one?
The last one.
What about... No, that's the last one.
That is the last one. It's okay, we both have demeanor. Number 3. Texting and driving billboards are kind of useless. Because if you think about it, those giant billboards are just one big static screen up in the sky as you proceed to ram your vehicle into the back of an 18-wheeler. Tommy, why the hell did these kinds of billboards exist?
I'll tell you. Yep, that's about the reason.
Very insightful.
Seriously, basically a bunch of states probably pooled their money together, and they were like, okay, people die, a bunch of people every year to texting and driving. We need to get them to stop. And one of the best things they could think of, obviously, was to put a bunch of billboards up to tell you to stop. The thing is, you're never going to look up from your phone while you're driving to read the billboard, so already isn't doing work. But also, since the inception of billboards, there's been an argument that they're unsafe to put on the road because they're distracting the driver. You know how many more accidents happen every year because people are like, ooh, there's a shiny neon sign of a stripper. I'm just going to stare at that instead of the road.
It's just how I said it. It's just a big screen in the sky or on the side of the road that captures your attention, and while that is nice for business, it probably leads to a lot of unnecessary deaths.
Yeah. Not only that, but it's probably a tax write-off, too. So,
it's about the money.
There's foundations out there that collect money from the government and also, donations, and they try to stop things. So, if you donate to a foundation that says they're going to stop texting and driving, a good portion of that is advertising budget. So, they probably were like, okay, we have all this spare money. We don't want to try and give it back to the people. We can't spend it on anything. Where do we put it that'll prevent texting and driving? And I guess billboards. I fixed texting and driving. I've done it.
I mean, giving it a bit of thought.
No, seriously, Trevor. I've fixed texting and driving. I know how to make it so no one dies. We have, at this moment, 2 operating systems that you can get on a phone without jailbreaking it. We're going into some third-party Ubuntu bullshit. We have Android and iPhone. That's basically a monopoly. We just make it law that they need to put a software that stops you from being able to send text messages while you're moving past a certain mile per hour. The phone just goes black.
That's fair. Although, you have to consider a lot of people use their phone for, say, GPS uses. So it would need to ignore usages of GPS applications. So
probably, yeah.
The problem is it gets a bit tricky when it gets outside of applications, because there are those people that use web browser GPSs. To the 7 people that do that, download a fucking app, please.
Actually, all 7 of you, you're welcome here. That's what's our audience right now? 0? That's like at
Please
least 7
come.
times our audience.
You're welcome. You can sit with the vore people and the math people over here in the
I
corner.
thought we kicked those people out.
They're still here. They just have bags over their heads.
What are we gonna do with them later?
Half of them are into math, and half of them are into vore. And then another half, that's a third half, which doesn't make sense.
No, I can subtract. That's exactly how that works.
At least 7.
At least 7.
At least 7. There's a certain amount of them that are into both. Because 7, 8, 9.
Fuck you.
It's bulletproof.
He's talking out of his ass right now, guys.
We've established this here. I'll talk out of my mouth.
Oh. So, anything else you'd like to talk about, Trev?
Well, you think we solved the whole texting driving conundrum that we've been facing?
I don't know if it's completely solved.
I think as an alternative, perhaps, maybe while the phone is on at a certain speed limit, perhaps like pop-ups appear, like from the operating system that say, hey, we've disabled, like, say, your texting and messaging past a certain speed. And the thing is, the second you stop going that speed and you, like, slow down, say, to pull off the side of the road or something, it reactivates. So, like, you know, some people need to make quick calls out of nowhere. It happens, but...
I guess the big problem with texting and driving is it's just like cigarettes. Like, everyone understands it's terrible and it kills people, but everyone's sort of addicted to it. Like, you hear people all the time mention, hey, I was texting and driving. I know you shouldn't, but I was doing it anyway. And it's a real problem because everyone just does it.
There's not a very good solution to it, because you have to think of it like, oh, well, I'm the one that bought the product. I should be able to use it however I want. It's mine. I bought it. I will text and I will die at the wheel.
He was talking out of his mouth that time, guys.
If you couldn't tell. So, it's tricky. I mean, there's like the potential to use some sort of pop-up notification thing, disabling certain usages of the phone, but that would get intrusive. People would get mad. Riots, murder.
I mean,
Epic.
Are people going to kill more people with riots and murder because they can't text and drive than people would die in car accidents from texting and driving?
Isn't like vehicular accidents like
it's the leading cause of death in America, yeah.
So, everyone out there, instead of texting on your phones, just go riot. Just go riot.
Oh my god.
You would literally be saving lives if you just went out and, like, robbed a bank. On second thought, maybe we shouldn't encourage that.
You know what? To everyone turning this podcast off in their car right now, I'd like to say thank you for listening this long.
Thank you for listening. This is so bad. I mean, we've covered our topics. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? Anything just off the top of your head?
What do you think about hair loss?
Hair loss?
Yeah.
I could totally shoehorn in, like, Keeps. Or something
Keeps.
like, oh yeah, Keeps.
Hey
Buy
guys,
Keeps, guys.
Sponsored by Keeps, not sponsored by Keeps. We are in no way financially obligated to talk about Keeps.
We're not sponsored by Keeps. Not yet. But Keeps, we're keeping an eye on you. So thank you so much for listening to the first episode of Complimentary Mania.
He's complimentary and I'm Mania. This is us signing off.
That is not our names. Goodbye.